and Manga here for another YouTube video, and today I want to talk about Shojo and Josei series. Now, to give you a bit of background about me, I'm going to put up my little overview of what my collection looks like. So as you can see, it's primarily seinen. This is by series, so I tend to read more seinen and shonen. I've got a little bit of shoujo, and I currently only have one Josei title. Now, this may be surprising because Josei is actually the demographic which is written for older women. Briefly, shoujo is for younger women, shonen is for younger men, and seinen is for older men. There's a video linked in the description which goes into a bit more detail about those demographics if you want to learn more about them. But to me, I wanted to, do something about this, to change it, to add more variety to my collection. So I went onto YouTube, looked at some recommendations. There was some creators who I'm a huge fan of that had recommendation videos out. People like Simply G, Mama Loves Manga, and Shay Geeks Out, of course. I chose 5 which seemed the most interesting to me and decided to try the first volume of each of these series. So first up we have Everyone's Getting Married, we have Skip Beat, we have Nana, and we have Wotakoi, and we also have Complex Age. Now, first of all, what I just want to say is that I thoroughly enjoyed all 5 of these series, and if I had unlimited money, I would be definitely continuing each and every one of them. But unfortunately, I'm a student, so I need to prioritise which series I'm going to continue. So now I'm going to rank these from 1 to 5 to see which one out of these I found overall more enjoyable, and overall which one I would like to continue if I only had to choose one, basically. So at number 5 we have Complex Age, and again, really good first volume. This is a Josei series about a girl who's kind of really interested in cosplaying, and she has an office 9-to-5 job, but in her spare time she just loves creating outfits and doing cosplay. And this series actually goes into quite a lot of depth about how these outfits are made, and different tips and things actually. So if you're interested in cosplay, or maybe you do it, or you know someone who does, this is definitely the one for you. But unfortunately, I'm not really that interested in it. I'm going to have to leave it at volume 1. Now, which will be eliminated next? I'm going to have to go with Everyone's Getting Married. Now, this one is a shoujo romance, and it follows this main character who has just kind of caught the bouquet at a friend's wedding. She really wants to get married, and she's in a relationship, but unfortunately she just gets dumped. And then luckily she meets someone else, in this first volume actually, and starts to have feelings for them. So this is just the kind of blossoming of a new relationship for her. Now, if you saw there, this, out of these 5 series, this one by far has the best art. I think this is what people mean when they say classic shoujo fluffy romance. And it was overall very enjoyable, and I do want to see what happens with these 2 characters. But for now, the other 3 were just a little bit better. So let's keep going. Moving on to 3rd place, this is where it starts to get a bit tricky. I'm going to have to go with Wotakoi. Love is Hard for Otaku. Now this is, first of all, a lovely release, a 2-in-1 release by Kodansha Comics. It has some really nice colour pages inside, and actually, when the 2nd volume starts, gives you the 2nd volume cover in full colour, so that's a really nice touch. And this, I think, is office romance done well. This follows our 2 main characters who were childhood friends, and they recently just started working in the same office. Now, they are both massive otakus. He's obsessed with video games. It looks like he's always playing his Switch. And she is obsessed with, I think it's a dating sim game, which is quite popular in Japan. And it's just the whole feel of it. It's just so nerdy. There's a kind of Pokemon reference here, and I just love it because it reminds me so much of me and my partner because we're both kind of big nerds. He loves video games, I love manga, and I think it portrays what actually happens like that really well. There's like a secondary couple who are in a long-term relationship, and yeah, they're you can see they're kind of getting at each other's throats quite a lot, which can also be relatable if you're in a long-term relationship. But overall, this just follows the two couples are friends. They both work in the same office, and they hang out, they play games, and it's interesting to see these two just kind of start to confess feelings for each other and decide that they want to start going out. And it's so cute. They're both so shy and nervous, and so it'll be really interesting to see where that one goes. Now moving on to the final two. Dun 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 dun. Which one did I enjoy the most? Which is my biggest recommendation to start getting into shoujo? So in second place we have Nana. This is actually, they're both very different series, so it was a hard decision to kind of pin them down, but Skip Beat did take that, and I'll talk about that in a second. But first up we have Nana. Now Nana is a shoujo, it's published in a shoujo magazine, but I would actually argue that it's more like Josei series. So this is quite serious and emotional, and it doesn't have much comedy in it. There's little bits to lighten the mood a bit, but it's mostly a very emotional, kind of in-depth, psychological drama so far. And that in this, I think the series is about the two girls meeting and becoming friends. But in this first volume, we basically just get a kind of backstory with the two girls. It's basically split in the middle, and we get a kind of backstory about the first Nana, and she is interested in art. She's been at art school and has had not much luck when it comes to romance, and it ends with her deciding that she wants to move to Tokyo to go to an art school. Then you get the second half, which is another Nana who is in a band, and she is dating someone in the band, and they kind of have a breakup. She goes through some stuff, and it ends with her also going to go to Tokyo. So it's definitely just a setting up kind of volume, and so I'm really interested to see what happens when they meet and what's actually going to happen, because the girls have so much in common, but also they're very different. So it'll be a really interesting series as a term and as a kind of romance psychological drama. So if that sounds something you would be interested in, then I would definitely go for Nana. So in first place, ladies and gentlemen, is Skip Beat. Now you'll have to excuse this kind of like battered copy I have here. I'm actually going to replace it with the single volumes, I think. I'm really not a fan of these 3-in-1 omnibuses. But it's interesting because this is not something I would pick up in the shop. The cover doesn't look that appealing, the art doesn't look that great, and on the back here it just says that this girl moves to Tokyo to be with her boyfriend, who's kind of like kind of a celebrity, and they end up breaking up, and then she wants to become a celebrity. And I was like, meh, not really that interesting. But then I started reading it, and honestly, after about 10 pages, I was like, I am going to love this series. This is just so funny. So it follows a high school girl who's actually left school and is just working a few part-time jobs to basically look after and support her boyfriend, who's a kind of small-scale celebrity. And so it starts with her, cooking his meals, and him just really not appreciating her. And I was already really despising this character, but luckily, within the first chapter, she kind of like overhears that this is his plan, just to kind of use her to, cook for him and take care of him, and he really doesn't actually love her. And then she just explodes. I was like, you go girl. They break up, and she's kind of got this new lease of life. She is empowered. She just wants to become, she wants herself to then become an idol. Just follow her dreams, not just have these part-time jobs that she's had. And she then starts to audition to become part of the kind of talent agency scene in Japan. But the thing which is special about this series is the humour. It is like, I think it's just the straight up, I think it's slapstick comedy or just like reaction faces. When they draw the characters like just in like an outline and just a complete reaction face, and I just find it works so effectively. Fullmetal Alchemist does it a lot as well, but it's done so well here. Like when I read it, it was like Monday morning commute into Glasgow. It was rush hour. It was a busy train. I was feeling a bit, Monday morning feeling, and I started reading it. Wasn't expecting this, and I was just absolutely chuckling away like a wee creepy gremlin in the corner. People were thinking I was a weirdo, but I didn't care. I was laughing out loud. It literally like made me in such a good mood for the rest of the day. It was so powerful. So I really can't wait to just continue with this series. I'm so thankful for the people who recommended it for me, and that is all. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching my video. I'm having a load of fun making these videos, and even just like chatting to everyone. Just give me if I've missed any shoujo titles that you think definitely need to be read as well, please do give your recommendation down in the comments. And you can also follow me on Twitter, it's @HighlandManga, and I'm always up for making new friends and chatting about all things manga. But until next time, see you later. Bye!